Okay, so this is going to be the CG Croc farm, and the way we get this started is we just go in our Who and do a search for, let's say, a level 7. Random level 7, preferably someone in or around a big city. Let's go level 10 instead, maybe. Someone is in Darnassus here. I'll invite them, quickly convert to raid, enter the instance, and it doesn't matter if they accept or not, you'll still be able to enter. This guy did accept the invite, so he was clearly online. Just needed to get into CG. You can dip, thank you. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Let's just do this quickly. And because he leaves, I'm not getting booted, because that way you could mess with people's instance logouts. So the first thing to keep in mind is that I'll just swap to my setup. I have them on different bars, so I have one that looks very similar to my first one, which is this is Seal of Martyrdom. I just swap over to this one. Now it does Seal of Light instead on Judgment. Every time I cast Judgment, I also cast a Seal right after, and I use that to keep it up. And I use Seal of Light for this grind. Current setup, the build is 6 out of 8 tier 1, of course, and I've upgraded most of the pieces to Judgment Core Forged. I'm still missing the legs and the gloves. No enchants currently, because I want to be able to be flexible and be able to swap them for tier 2. I have 2 of the Razor Spike pieces and the Fetish of Chitinous Spikes as well for the trinket. I also crafted the Toon Force Reactive Disc, and currently I'm doing Thorium Spike until I feel like it's going to be worth to put Law of Nature on there. But honestly, I don't need any more power doing this. This is super easy with the current setup that I have. I have the Phase 4 Biz weapon for prop paladins, so no truth bearer or anything. You don't need that, although it would of course be lovely to have. Spell power, it turns out, is quite a lot more useful to prop allies now. And you'll see the Toon Force Reactive Disc deal a whole lot of damage here. I've macroed my Consecration to pop both my shield, my trinket, and my well, my entire CD setup. So whenever I consecrate, I'm saying, okay, now I want to do big boom damage. Now this is more about stability and self-healing than it is about damage, honestly. You want to be stable while doing this. You don't have to be fast, but you don't want to have to be worried about your life. As you can see, and as you can tell from the damage I'm taking, a whole lot of blocking, parrying, dodging. I am totally good to do double pulls if I want to, and I'll show you one of those in one of the upcoming pulls as well. The point and the idea is to, of course, grind the coins and the bijous. That is what makes us money here. I typically steed into jumping into the lake, and I'll just stun the first fish that goes on me. The reason why you do want to maybe stun the fish when they come for you is that if they hit you with a puncture armor, you lose 75% of your armor. And as you can see, that's going to be quite a bit for a prop paladin, which does interact with your safety on these packs. You still have to be, with my build, you have to be a little unlucky, even with the puncture armor debuff, but say it happens right before a pull where you want to do a double pull. It kind of stops you dead in your tracks. And that lowers your clear speed. Now as you can see, I keep up Horn, and I keep up Holy Shield. Holy Shield is of course the most important spell in the build. You'll also be able to see from my damage that Holy Shield does most of it. So both for safety and for damage, you want to keep up Holy Shield at all times while doing this. It is the build. You don't need to consecrate that often. Consecration is also a big part of the damage. You can see it's closing in on 20% if I had full uptime on it. So it's not irrelevant, but it's not what's going to carry you. So don't drain your mana. Always good to leave some flexibility for random stuff happening. If you do the route that I show you, you won't be pulling any of the big berserker guys, but if you decide to draw outside of the lines, maybe something could happen. And in that case, you would want a bit of mana. Guarded by the Light is what I'm running currently. I have been experimenting with Sheath of Light instead. Nope, not Guarded by the Light. Sorry, not Sheath of Light, but the Sacred Shield. And honestly, Judgment of Light plus Seal of Light is all the sustain I need. So Guarded by the Light is just for the easy effective mana. Obviously means that I'm damaged when it comes to self-healing. You can't actually click off this buff either. Like, you can't right-click it and then make it go away and then do a big Holy Light on yourself, say if you did Divine Shield. So, your panic buttons are a little lower. Your Lay on Hands will still save you, but that is on a 1 hour cooldown, so hardly worth orienting yourself towards. That's just an in-case real shit button. But obviously the ghost walk into CG, especially when you're playing alone, is quite long. So again, this is why I prioritize safety, because that way I can keep the clear speed relatively high. If you're healthy on the packs, then always swap targets as much as you can towards the highest HP target. That way you spread the damage evenly and you deal the max amount of damage, upping the clear speed. And if you are having trouble, you want to go for the lowest HP target instead, so you kill off a big percentage of the pack's damage on you. So for instance, this is a 5 mod pack. Say I was having trouble, if my gear wasn't quite as good as it is, then you'd want to possibly branch into just killing off a target. And that way reducing the damage by, well, that would be 20% in a pack like this, wouldn't it? But since I'm not worried at all, I'm just going to go ahead and target swap quite liberally here. I do a bit of backtracking, move around. WoW Classic is programmed in such a way that mob pathing, they will try to encircle you. They don't like standing on top of each other, so you need to backtrack a little bit to keep them sort of lined up neatly. So they are always, at all times, attacking you from the front and giving themselves a chance to get blocked. While I have Holy Shield active, I have, what is it, a block chance of 43%. And I have a total block value of 248 without any sort of extra buffs. Which isn't bad at all, honestly. Another benefit you get from the tier 1 set bonus is that the 4-piece heals you once every few seconds every time you block. So that, in conjunction with the Seal of Light, is enough to really boost you. And as you can see, it's a healthy grind when it comes to the economic reasons. I seem to have aggroed something. Oh, that's one of the fishes in the water. Yeah, this guy here. I'll try and stun him as I move across here. Yeah, just go ahead and stun him. And we'll do a double pull now, because again, this is super healthy, so there's no reason not to. Try to jump strafe while you're moving. That way you give them a chance to get blocked while they're attacking you. They slow you down a bit, but that obviously doesn't matter. You can just keep backpedaling, and you'll be fine. Sometimes, if you can get along a mountain range like this, they don't do the full spread, which helps a lot. But as you see, I'm not that lucky with this pack, so I will need to keep that going for a little bit here. Now, I am taking a little more damage. You can see that the HP is dropping, but I'm not worried at all, so I'm still going to try and focus down the highest HP target to spread the damage evenly. As you can see, I'm also self-healing for quite a bit here, so I'm not worried. One of them is about to die, which will of course reduce the damage even further. Let's go highest HP target. At least the highest one I can see. And you don't want to go too far up this ramp because there are berserkers patrolling up there, so just keep that in mind. You want to go back down towards the water. It looks a little scary maybe if it's the first time you do this, but it is honestly not unsafe at all. Your health pool is big and you bounce a lot. But if you do feel unsafe here, remember that if you run malleable protection, you always have a 12-second shield wall, reducing all incoming damage by 50%, and that should maybe carry you through if your gear isn't quite up to the task. Right now we'll be waiting for this berserker guy. I'll just put a mark on him to path over to around here, and then I can ride up this side here around him over to the tiger packs over there, where I'll be able to find Yeah, as I said, the tiger packs. More on the cubs in a second. And one of the hoodoo piles. So if you're lucky, you get a sought after doll. On Wild Growth EU, it is the Druid doll and the Paladin dolls that sell really well. I think Druid doll has consistently been above 200 gold, and Paladin doll typically hovers just below 200 gold apiece. I'm guessing this because Druids and Paladins have so many specs that they need more enchants than other classes to retain their flexibility. I would assume Shamans might be the same deal. But obviously Horde can't do this farm with a Paladin because they don't have Paladins. I'm unsure whether a Shaman could pull this off. I don't know. They're self-healing. Okay. And for this pull, actually we'll do Seal of Justice. So I'll just click that on. And we will try to judge a cub because... yeah, back to the cubs. The Zulian cubs, when they get low HP, they run. And they run to other tigers and try to aggro them to seek sort of protection, I guess. So you just find a cub and you judge it, and then this guy will be your first target to try and nuke down. When they're judged with Seal of Justice, obviously they don't flee. Another trick you can do, and I'll show you that in a second, I'm sure, is that when the cubs get low, you can toss your shield at them. And this should, in most cases, reset their fleeing animation or whatever it is. This guy is still running. Exorcism got him. Let's see if we can get a stun on this guy. There can be a berserker here. There's another guy ran over to that pack. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess here. But we'll be fine. He will aggro the berserkers. We can run into the reset spot. I get a chance to show you that one as well. And that's just running over here behind these plants here. Once they start healing, you know you're doing the right thing. Once your guarded by the light runs out, you can do heals on yourself as well. Big crit there, nice. In a second, they should fully reset. There you go, yeah. So, some of them ran back, some of them immediately re-aggroed. We'll keep an eye on the cubs here. Now we have a berserker here. Let's just go ahead and toss a mark on him as well, so we can keep an eye on him. And now it's just about nuking down the tigers. Currently I have one cub in the pack, which is fine. I'll toss my shield at that one, getting it to come back to me. And afterwards we can do the other cubs. I could also swap the Seal of Justice, but right now I'm not concerned about my health, but I do want to keep it high. Okay, so we did get a second cub here. So we need to be a little quick on our feet here. This guy's about to start running, I think. Let's see if we can nuke him down. Okay. We have a second cub here. This guy's running. Let's toss a shield. Don't take too many back shots when you're chasing after the cubs. That's why my health dropped low before. And now it's just about stabilizing. Keep up Holy Shield, and keep backtracking a little bit. Not all the time, you shouldn't be dancing around in a circle, that way you're skipping too many melee hits from the enemies. You see my health is actually going up rather than down right now, which is what we want. And it's the shield that's doing all the reflect damage there. As you can see, in a pack like that, my shield did 8% of my total damage. 8.5 actually. So that's quite big. The Innovation Unleashed is the active on the Tuneforge reactive disc, so that's when you right click it, or as I do, pop it with a macro. Yeah, we have another cub over here, and the patrol is gone, so we can loot these guys. There is another, yeah, this berserker that we dodged before. He pats all the way over here, so we need to watch out for him too. A few more Croc packs down below, but that'll just be similar to what you've already seen. So if you've sort of caught along, then you've seen the whole thing. But I'll do the rest of the run as well. And we'll, of course, see what's in the pile. Ideally, these are not looted when the berserker's nearby, because if mind control does happen, which it can... Oh, no doll. Unlucky. If mind control does happen, then you will aggro the berserkers. Okay, so mind control is about to happen. I can just divine shield it, click it off, and we're good to go. We'll just reapply horn as well. What am I in combat with? bit buggy sometimes, I guess. Okay, now I of course have 4 barons for a bit, but I don't worry about that. As you will have seen, I never really pop wings on any of these pulls because I don't want to have 4 barons when I don't when something could happen. Not that I've been anywhere near stressed, but I also haven't really missed an extra 20% damage. Another thing that I could do to up the damage is, of course, put the SoD version of the Nature Reflect kits on my items as enchants. That is one way of doing it. But those cost, I think I checked the price yesterday, they were about 600 gold a piece, and it's 4 of them you need to put them on all your gear. And as I said before, I don't want to, well, first of all, I don't really need an extra 80 damage on Reflect per hit. It would speed this up a little bit, but honestly at this point the speed is fine. Like, I'm maintaining everything, it's going well. There's no real issue here, so I'm not looking to, I'm not looking for extreme efficiency here. It would be fun to try at some point, but right now I want the flexibility of being able to swap my 4 forged pieces back to draconian pieces, and if I have them enchanted, I would lose the enchants if I was to do that. But of course I could put it on the Razor Spike breastplate, since I'm keeping that one for this build, this Reflect build. Or any sort of raid tanking where I would want to use the Draconian Tier 2, I would be more inclined towards using a real tanky chest piece, not a Reflect one. That said, I am liking the Reflect build, and especially the crowning piece, which is the Lodestone of Retaliation, which is just an absolutely insane trinket for tanks. Better on a warrior, of course, since expertise is just so huge for rage generators, but it is fairly big for paladins as well. Okay. Yeah, this little ledge here is tricky to stay on, but we'll do this, and then we'll stun the fishes. Typically you get one here, but I guess I was lucky today. No, I aggroed it, but yeah, no matter. One last Croc pack over here, and then we just ride out. And riding out is not difficult at all. You are going to get really unlucky if they start spinning, or you've done the run out in a manner that's not correct. Can toss a shield at this pack, and then get one of the other guys with the judgment. And the weak auras I've built is just to keep track of what I have running at the moment. Obviously you want Defender's Resolve up at all times, but that comes with Holy Shield. Holy Shield is more important, so Paladins have it easy. Warriors have to connect their Shield Slam to activate their Defender's Resolve. Instead of putting it on Shield Block, which they could have done Blizzard, they decided to put it on Shield Slam, which is smart, I guess, since you don't always want to Shield Block. But you might as a Paladin. As a Rage Generator, sometimes you do want to take the full hit, or even a crit, so you can fill your Rage bar. Gives flexibility. But it does mean that my Defender's Resolve can stay out, or stay off me, during a crucial moment during a boss pull, which is annoying. Expertise helps with that, and that's one of my many reasons why I think warriors should be prio for any expertise items first. But that's also because we run warrior main tank. If we were to run paladin main tank, maybe you could make the argument that it does up their threat quite a bit. Either way, that's the CG farm. We got, let's see, greens. This is a coin. That's a bijou. Coin. Don't even need to pay attention to this, honestly. You can just run out. Random gray. Coin. Random gray. Another coin and another bijou, and then we have a coin here. Okay, so we got 6 bijous. Total of 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15 coins. 15 coins, 1 green, and 6 bijous, and 2 grays. Not bad. Especially if you manage to sell the green or disenchant it for some greater return essences. That's cool. Bijous sell reasonably well on wild growth, so do coins. Everyone needs CG rep. I myself am still honored, and that's honestly mostly from just doing this farm. I don't think I've even done a single full run on this paladin. But yeah, that's it. Don't need enchants, don't need consumes. You can do the whole thing if you just get lucky in a raid. And I've done it in just regular tier 1, not upgraded to Core Forge 2. That works just fine too. Tier 2 is just a bit stronger for the tanking, giving you more mitigation, more survivability, making the whole clear smoother. And what did that take? Not even 30 minutes. Honestly, that's quite good. 19 minutes and 4 seconds, and we got 220 Sandalar tribe rep. Another way you could up the grind, if you do that, you can bring along boosties. So you can boost people in here. We typically just do it in the guild, but I suppose you could also sell the service. Anyone who is above level 50 can zone in with you. And if you just keep them relatively near you, you can't just park them at the entrance. I think that was a thing they couldn't do in vanilla. I'm not sure, but if they could do that, you can't do that here, definitely. So if you're clearing the croc pack over there, then they need to be following you down the trail. If they're really low, like level 50, they will definitely pull the troll pack. What I do normally is just have them dive into the water first, then they'll die. I'll run over to the croc pack, over to the bamboo without aggroing the croc pack, res them up, and then I'll do the first croc pack. They might pull it with body pull. They'll definitely aggro the fishes. Fishes stay in the water though, so don't worry about those. Just pick up the crocs as soon as you've resed your boosties. And just keep doing that. Obviously you can kill the fishes as well for a bit of extra XP. It's not that much, but it can be done. You can tank up to 3 fishes, I find. The puncture armor debuff is really nasty though, so don't pull as many of those as you do with the crocs. But yeah, easy gold grind, easy rep grind, easy life. And you can obviously, none of this is BOP, so you can sell all of it, you can send it to your alt for rep, you can do whatever you want. Cool, that's it. Happy grinding.